Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're looking at the tech industry right now in 2026 as a student or maybe a junior developer, you're probably feeling one primary emotion, and that is massive anxiety. You're probably wondering, are we just training for obsolete jobs here? Well, let's cut through the deafening noise and figure out what's actually happening on the ground.
Okay, let's dive into this. We are hearing these massive, honestly kind of blunt statements from the very top of the food chain. I mean, you have Boris Cherny from Anthropic flat out stating software engineering is dead. And then OpenAI's Sam Altman saying coding is overrated now. Look, when the absolute titans of the industry speak like this, it creates real, palpable panic. It is absolutely no wonder that people are second-guessing everything, rethinking their entire career paths, completely switching fields, or just abandoning coding altogether.
And, this fear, it isn't completely baseless. It's anchored in a very harsh, very real reality. We have already seen over 75,000 tech layoffs happen in 2026 alone. To put that into perspective, that's tens of thousands of highly skilled people suddenly looking for work. When you pair massive job cuts like that with those viral end-of-days quotes, the threat feels incredibly real to anyone trying to break into the industry right now. So we're really looking at what I call the three pillars of tech panic. First off, AI is actively building full apps. We're talking front-end, back-end, database connections, APIs, literally in seconds from a single prompt. Second, we're seeing these massive developer layoffs happening at the exact same time that companies are pouring incredibly heavy corporate investments into AI. And third, those viral end-of-coding statements we just talked about. When you stack these three pillars together, it's completely natural to wonder if learning to code is just a total waste of time. But hold on a second. Here is a crucial analytical shift we need to make together, separating marketing from reality. Companies like OpenAI and Anthropic are the ones building these code generation tools. That means they are financially incentivized to highlight their absolute, unquestionable supremacy. Let's be real, coding is dead spreads like wildfire and goes viral way faster than coding is evolving. Taking these high-emotion quotes at face value creates a completely false perspective for anyone watching from the outside. So to truly understand what's happening and to neutralize this fear, we need to pull back the curtain and dive into the actual financial reality of the tech industry today. Section 1. Inside the AI market bubble. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the staggering discrepancy being reported by top market analysts right now. Look at this. A massive $500 billion is being poured into AI infrastructure, $500 billion. But consumer AI revenue? It's sitting at just $2 billion. We are currently living in an overhyped investment bubble where the expected returns simply aren't matching the reality on the ground yet. Everyone just assumes AI will automatically print money, but eventually, this massive gap, it absolutely has to correct itself. And if you want undeniable proof of this frenzy, just look at this story. Former OpenAI executive Mira Murati recently raised $1 billion in seed funding at a $5 billion valuation. And the wildest part of the whole shebang, she didn't even tell investors what product she was building. Zero product disclosed. They literally just threw $1 billion at her simply because she came from OpenAI. It's a landscape driven by pure investor FOMO, not grounded reality. So if the market is in a bubble and AI is writing code, where does that actually leave developers? Section 2. Low-level versus high-value coding. So the crucial point is that AI is only killing low-level execution, copy and paste work, basic CRUD operations, simple tutorial projects. Yeah, AI does that perfectly, and human intervention is definitely fading there. But high-value engineering, that is the completely different story. Deep system design, complex architecture, and making those highly critical trade-offs in time and space complexity, those remain entirely dependent on deep human problem-solving. AI can spit out a function all day long, but it absolutely cannot design a robust, scalable system from scratch. To stay relevant today, you really have to realize that coding is no longer the final skill. Actually, scratch that. It's just the baseline. You aren't just typing out lines of syntax anymore. Your real value is in being the architect, the person who knows exactly why to use specific data structures or when to implement a distributed microservice to engineer robust, scalable solutions. The syntax is cheap now, folks, but the deep problem solving, that is invaluable. Section 3, Reviewing AI-generated code. And this brilliantly illustrates why human developers are actually more essential than ever. Because let's face it, AI has some incredibly dangerous blind spots. It frequently hallucinates entirely incorrect logic, like it will just confidently invent a code library that literally does not exist. It consistently misses critical edge cases, and it completely misunderstands nuanced, complex business problems. It absolutely requires a human expert to step in and correct its path.
Which brings us to the new developer's daily reality, the AI review checklist. When AI writes a script, you can't just blindly trust it. You have to step in and 1. Evaluate the underlying algorithms and logic. 2. Meticulously test for unhandled scenarios. And 3. Ensure strict, absolute production safety so the code doesn't just crash a live system. You have to know exactly what highly optimized code looks like so you can catch and fix dangerous AI-generated logic long before it ever reaches production.
Section 4. Mastering Fundamentals with AI. Let's move to and see how this builds your actual 2026 survival blueprint. Step 1. You need to aggressively strengthen your foundational data structures and algorithms. We're talking trees, graphs, memory management, the heavy hitters. Step 2. Focus your portfolio on deep, complex architecture projects, like building a distributed microservice, rather than just doing basic copy-paste tutorials. And Step 3. Use AI as your personal tutor to explain complex logic and clear up doubts, but never, ever use it as a replacement for your own brain power. You have to balance the tool with your core engineering logic. Section 5. Why start coding today? Here is a massive, massive advantage that honestly most people aren't entirely missing right now. Mass confusion literally equals dropping competition. Right now, thousands of students are skipping their fundamentals, relying on AI to do the heavy lifting, or they're just quitting out of pure fear. Ironically, the actual competition for high-value engineering roles is dropping. So if you stay focused, learn the fundamentals properly, and just ignore the hype, this is absolutely the best time to start. The tech world is experiencing a massive shift. And yeah, the noise from the AI bubble is deafening right now. But the path to becoming a highly valuable engineer is actually clearer than it's ever been. It requires deep thought, solid fundamentals, and crucial human oversight. So, as we wrap up this explainer, while others retreat in confusion and let the AI hype completely intimidate them, will you seize the opportunity to build the skills that actually matter?